Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flog Fridays, the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen's podcast. We've never done this before. It's probably going to be terrible. So we're just going to give it to Bad Hombres, our two-time reigning champ, who has a 30-0 record against half the members in this league. Rafa,
Except
take it
me.
away with your
Just one,
little ear
just one.
bandage.
Hang on, let me make sure I can hear off my good ear. Um, so, um, our Dynasty League is a 12-man league. 53 roster spots, 10 IR, 10 Texie squad. We have 9 offense, 1 kicker, and 7 IDP. And we're going on I believe, 8th year now.
It's dedication.
Yeah, 8th year this year. So we got a pretty good balance of owners right now. There isn't like too many unproductive teams. It's just like one or two really that are actually bottom of the barrel every year. The last 3 years we've had different champions. Actually, I think even the last 5 has been different. Overall, it's a good group of guys, and we're looking forward to continuing on for the foreseeable future. I think one topic of conversation that we found, or that I found, was the take of Moss versus Spears between Rain Man and Metropolis Jets. So I was thinking maybe get into that a little bit as to why you guys got those takes.
You want to say now why?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I think Spears is going to personally be better than Moss because, one, Spears played behind Derrick Henry last year and basically got the leftovers, and he still had 180 or 90 fantasy points. And, I mean, he barely got anything. And the offensive line was horrible. Like, they've upgraded the offensive line a ton this year. And I think that's going to help. And then Will Levis was a rookie last year, and now he has another year being integrated into the system. And they have a new offensive coordinator too, which I think is going to help him. So I do think just all around getting rid of Vrabel. Vrabel was very defensive minded, and the new guy isn't. He's an offensive minded coach. And Moss, he's kind of just been, I mean, he's good, but he's just been average to good his whole career. He's gotten many chances not many, but a couple chances as the bell cow last year and another time, and he just kind of tops out at what he is. He's like a fringe starter, I think. And I think Ty J just has a higher upside than Moss. That's pretty much why I traded 3 second-round picks for Spears, and a couple people said it was an overpay.
Three second round. What was Moss's price?
Moss got traded for 2 second-round picks. Yeah.
Well, first off,
Metropolis, your counter
to this. Well, a good prelude to it is I'm the Al Davis of the owners. I see speed, I see athleticism. That's what attracts me. That's what I go after. Having said that, John Spears is an athlete, but he's working with half of an ACL, and reminds me a lot of AJ. Was it Ajay? Ajay. That's
AJ Ajay, or
he played with the Eagles for a little bit, but he came out of Boise State the same way. Big dude, athlete, but he was bone on bone. I know that. And started off great, went off like a firecracker, and just disappeared. I saw Will Levis. He likes to throw the ball a lot to running back, so I didn't sounded like Rayman. Fucking actually did the research on this shit before.
I did plenty.
Yeah. Hey, I shoot from the hip. That's Rafa. Or wait, no real names. But I feel bad on.
Ty J played on one ACL last year, and look what he did, getting leftovers, 190 fantasy points. He hasn't been injured in a few years.
Yeah, but Henry was the guy there. I don't, depending. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that Henry was in on first and second down, and when Sanjay was in, I don't think that defenses were locking in on him as much as they were, onto the third and long.
Also, look at the grades, the pass blocking grades, and all that. Their grades, like there's only 3 linebackers.
Pass blocking a lot of the time comes down to willingness. But even if you're a willing motherfucker on with how small he is, I mean, it's just gonna take one. Like Zeke is different, right? That cat is built different. He's built for pass block. I don't worry about him taking on a block, but he's a little small, and I don't know. He might be willing, but I don't know.
He was top rated last year. Spears was top rated. There was only 3 guys in the league that led 3 categories, I think there was 3 guys in the league that were top 3 in 3 categories. It was Henry, Spears, and one other guy.
Look, I look at the way that Moss runs, and he runs angry. He runs like he's got something to prove. And I know that contract that he signed is a type of contract that you sign to show the league what you have. I think it was only 2 years. And he's still averaging like $7 million a year. So he's with market value, but they're giving him a chance to show what he's worth so that he can get his fat contract in 2 years, but he's still kind of young. So he's going to be running for the money. Anytime a back is running for a new contract.
Spears is too. Spears is in his rookie contract.
Right. No. So yeah, he'll be doing the same thing, but they just paid Pollard, a shit ton of money, not, just to get Spears, that
I think
the first down, second down guy, and then Spears.
Pollard will be. I think Pollard will be like the scat back, which is what Spears kind of was towards the end of last year.
I agree. I think Pollard will be the scat back. Yeah,
but I think that's what's going to be what hurts Spears.
He's lining up on first down. He's lining up on first down.
Yeah. So Spears is taking over the Henry role, even though he's like half his size. And then Pollard is taking over the Spears
role. To line up on first down?
He can do it.
They're going to try and force it.
Who's starting? It's Pollard, not Spears.
I think Pollard's going to start over Spears. Personally, I think,
who's getting paid more?
But
I don't know who's getting paid more.
I think Spears is going to be used in the passing game a lot, and I think that's where he's going to get a lot of his fantasy points. I think it's through the passing game.
Well, how much of a size difference? Let me see. How much of a size difference are Pollard and Spears? I think they're like damn near the same size, aren't they?
Right, but
yeah, they're similar.
Yeah, it was a weird choice because Pollard doesn't really complement Spears. They're like copies of
the same person.
Thing.
No, Spears complements Pollard. You're tripping. Spears complements Pollard. You guys think that if Spears is number 1 and Pollard is number 2?
I think it's gonna be like 1A, 1B.
It might end up being something like that, but I mean, when you look at the depth chart and the person who's going to be standing on the field when that whistle blows, it's going to be Pollard.
And also, who's younger? Who's younger?
A huge difference.
Spears is only 22 years old. He's still got many years ahead of him. Pollard's almost done. Pollard dropped off the map last year.
Well, are we talking dynasty value, or are we talking just who's going to be more productive next year?
Well, let's look at this. Spears' floor is 180. That's like his floor, and that is a fringe starter. Like 180 to 190 fantasy points is like a fringe starter, and then we already know that's his floor. And I think from there, as long as he stays healthy, he could get injured. Well, everybody could get injured, but that's his floor right there.
148.
Who's going first in a regular fantasy draft?
It was 148. He had
Spears.
Spears had 180 or 90. I looked at it.
No, Spears had 148.
No, he didn't.
At it right now.
Contract numbers. I'm curious to see how much Pollard is making.
No, Spears had more than 148. He had we're a 1-point PPR league. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have it pulled up right now. He had 148.70.
I saw 180 when I traded for him. It was 179, I think. Let me go look.
I think what you saw is Hog put more points into Spears just so you could pay three
You can't
twos.
do. Well, if I can find the damn
Hey,
login.
I just want to point out, I put in the chat our league rankings. So we love Rate My League, or we're not endorsing them formally, but the 1 through 12th ranked teams. Number 12 is Metro and Bruce, who's in fisticuffs with number 11 Rain Man. And then we got
Which
number 10
I was fourth in another one though, so
Bay
that's
Buccaneers, number 9 Trey
Oh,
Area,
let him
number
finish.
8 two times champ Bad Hombres, 7 Too Legit, 6 Saquon, 5 Under the Influence, 4 Silver and Black, 3 Metropolis Jets, 2 D-Rec, and I'm the number 1 team. So I just want to let y'all know that. Just want to share
Okay.
that nugget.
If we see
Share
that little
nugget
smile trying to flex and shit,
with the Flog
we see that.
fans.
We see that.
Number 1.
We see
means
that.
nothing. Means nothing.
That's a good segue into our next topic, the controversial trade rule change that happened in the offseason,
Oh,
and how it split the league into two.
Hey,
Is-
Or it
Kamish,
split
can
the
you
league into
explain
three.
that real quick?
what a travesty. Two-time champ
How it
Rafa,
split the league into
please.
three factions: Republicans, Libs, and then there's still the Ghosts, the 3 ghost teams. The league.
Take a shot.
Yeah. And let me just put it in the chat just so that there's no doubts about it. So I was able to pull what teams didn't vote, and the 3 ghost teams were actually the ones that didn't vote.
AKA unproductive teams.
Yeah. So Influence,
What do they think?
Trey Area, and Trump Bay were the 3 teams that didn't vote. So the rule passed 5-4.
Can you explain can you explain what the rule is though for the people who don't know,
Yeah.
for the people who are
So
coming in?
once a trade gets accepted by somebody, the trade gets posted publicly in the league chat, and then from there, other owners have 6 hours to try and outbid the buyer. It might be something as small as like adding in like an extra 3rd or 4th round pick or something, or like for me, I started off with getting my trade accepted for a 2nd for Moss, and then Rain Man tried to outbid me with I think a 2nd and a 4th, or 2nd and a 5th.
A 2nd and a 5th, I
Is
think.
it fair to say that it turned into an auction system where someone makes the first bid and then preceding bid follows, and it ends up with the person getting the most value from their
Well, depending on the person, like, because if you're like, let's say,
right of first refusal, or there's a right of refusal, so you can refuse that better offer to decide to go with the original.
Yeah, so maybe the person values, like, let's say, picks more than they value like fringe players, and somebody gets a trade accepted for a couple of fringe players, and somebody offers like 2 seconds, then that owner, they have the choice of either taking the 2 seconds, or if it's 2 fringe starters, then they have their I guess their pick. And I mean, the owner, like I said, they have 6 hours to decide which one they accept. So it kind of gives everybody a fair
Have you
chance
seen
to.
anyone trying to circumvent the rules in any type of way, or have we're human, so everybody tries to work around?
Yeah. No, I mean,
what have you seen so far from the league?
I think it's been good. I mean, I feel obviously the sellers are the ones that are benefiting the most. They're getting their sometimes even more than their money's worth, and it adds like that extra little, I guess, that extra little edge to now, like, if you get outbid, maybe that'll be something that starts like a little rivalry between those 2 owners. Like, oh, like if somebody takes somebody's bid, so they get upset about it, and then now like it kind of builds that rivalry, and which
Has that happened?
Yeah, that happened. Great example, right? When
one.
Lewis stole Jordan Addison from Rain Man's clutches.
I did all the work.
And you know what? And that's the
Rain
first
Man
time
did all the
when-
research, and Tua legit was stuck getting Jordan Addison before he got his
Before the
DUI.
DUI.
I got saved on that one. By the way, I think the buyer and the seller should be able to take better offers. That way, there is no advantage to being a buyer or a seller. Because right now the advantage goes to a seller, and that's kind of just weird. Why does the advantage go to one way? It should go to possibly be able to go to
become a
both
bargaining
ways.
chip now.
And
I mean,
then
that's because you put that part of the deal. Let me be the seller. But that
We have been doing that. We have been doing that.
Yeah.
And by the way,
And I
I
mean-
just checked. Tajay Spears had 170.3. I posted it in WhatsApp.
In our league or
In our league. 170.3 last year. Go look on WhatsApp. It's in there. Yeah. That's what it shows on my thing.
I'm telling you, Hog put those two. He put those 30 points on yours, so you could give those 3 twos for him,
No, I
man.
want my comp pick for Aaron Donald too. Where's that comp pick?
All right, but I got a
crazy.
question for you, Raymond. You talked about, you did all the work. What is something that you didn't like about the new rule? And then we'll send it off to Hog so he could explain what he likes about the rule,
Are you asking me or Raymond? Did you say Rain Man or Raymond?
Raymond. I like to say Raymond, not Rayman.
There's no Raymond in the league. There's no Raymond.
It's
But
Raymond.
No,
doesn't
I
matter.
thought he was talking to Rafa. The reason I don't mind the rule, but I just don't like that. Like, I like to look for deals as a buyer. Like, I like to look for deals a lot. And then when I send offers looking for the deals, like I looked for a deal last year with Bruce Wayne. I was able to scoop out a very high first just to give away Max Crosby. Like, I look for these deals and I'm doing all this work looking for these deals, and then the seller gets to sit back, receive my offers, do no work, and then still get the best deal. Like, I'm doing tons of work to get like a good deal, and then some guy that does no work you come in and be like, oh damn, Rayman's robbing that guy. I'm gonna go in and get a better offer. That's the only thing.
Rayman
Hey.
basically flipping a car at the dealership, and then
This is
he's
eBay,
about ready
baby,
to-
not
ready
offer
about to
up.
sign the papers, and then the next someone in and interjects and takes the sale. I'd be pissed. I'm not gonna let some other dude take my sale.
See
know
that?
what I'm saying?
See, I mean, that's Metro has a point. That's the only thing that I. Other than that, I don't mind it. But it's just kind of like, damn, I'm doing tons of work. Like guys like UTI are never on, never on. I've sent like 20 offers to them. They could like accept my offer and like, damn, I got them. But then someone else outbids me, and they did no work and they got like the best of it. That's the only thing that bothers me about
So
it.
here's a good question. Here's a good question. So that kind of goes into in Dynasty, and it's a very personal choice. When is the off season? Because I think some people in the league decide to like pick a time to unplug and not deal with anything fantasy related, and then they pick a time to say, okay, now I'm going to be engaged. Now I have the bandwidth. Maybe when NFL starts, maybe preseason, maybe NFL draft. But when is the off season begin or end for you guys? Because I think some people take it to 12 months and some people limit it to like 5.
For me, it never ends. I'm always out there looking. Like, honestly, I live football. Like, that's my favorite sport. I don't really watch basketball anymore. I like baseball, but I don't love it. And football is something like literally, it doesn't really end. Like, the draft comes, and then free agency, and then the draft, and then I'm always looking at mini camps and training camps. Like, for me, it doesn't really ever end. Like, there's a couple months where there's nothing going on, but the league is smart. They've structured it now. I mean, I don't like Roger Dale, but he's a genius. They've structured it to where there is no off season. Like, you're always invested now. That's why everybody loves the NFL.
He's gonna have to make it easy too with the news and the trading and all that. Like, just to be in it all the time.
I mean, one thing that I'll remind everybody is the rules are there, but at the end of the day, unless it's something that's like changing to 2 QB or trying to add or take away like starting position, like those are all rules that can be changed by just a majority vote. Or if we want to tweak a rule, like Rayman suggested, like give the buyer and the seller a chance to take counter offers. That's something that we can always put up for a vote, and
Yeah, I
we'll
agree.
vote on it. Like it's
I
not.
mean, before you do anything, you need to be you got to be able to be you got to be clear on these no votes. I don't think
Yeah,
no
because
votes.
no one was clear.
Say
Also, no
yes or
one was
no.
clear on what was going on last year. Like no one got what that rule was exactly. People were confused on it.
Whatever, yeah, but
Yeah,
whatever we vote on, you have to vote, dude. Like those votes were like bots, like you know,
yeah,
telling you,
but
dude,
that's
like,
but I mean that and so this is something else we could if somebody wanted to, it could be added because right now I'm pretty sure the only stipulation is you have to like at least decline offers to be considered an active owner. So that's something that we can modify and be like, okay, you have to at least acknowledge the offer, may decline it, reject it, whatever, or do a counter. And on top of that, make sure you respond to all the polls. Like
But
that's what I'm saying is
I
that's
agree.
one of
I
those things
100% agree.
that
I have 22 offers that have been out for weeks. Like there's if you go look, you can see in the last time people have got online, there's like 4
Mhm.
guys that haven't been on in months.
but
Like
that's
they're not.
well
you guys got to
that's
remember
for the
that's what
that's
Hog
for the
was
website
talking
too
about.
though.
No, but it's also Hog was talking about how people just disconnect themselves from football and what's their off season looking like. You know, they might not want
Yeah.
to come back until the start of the season. So that's a
Let's
good
be honest
question Hog
though.
came up though.
During the season, they're not even very. I mean, they're active, but not really. I
are we
mean, even
chasing
during the
owners?
season,
We're not chasing owners, are we?
I
No.
honestly think we should chase 1 or 2 owners and get rid of the bottom 2 inactive guys, unless they're like. I understand they might be. I don't know if they're your guys' friends or something though. I don't want to kick out somebody that's like your best bud, but like we probably should chase maybe 1 or 2 more active owners because
Mhm.
right now we have a great league, but the bottom couple guys. No, I'm not saying the bottom. I'm saying as long as you're active, I don't care if your team sucks. But like just being there's a couple guys that are not active like at all, and
Well,
But they're
that's the
active,
only
they're
negative.
active enough. They're just
yeah,
enough
that's what I'm
active to
saying
be
is
like,
That is
okay,
true. That is true. They are being just
everybody's
active enough.
active is different. But the
like I
thing is
don't think
everybody's
anyone
active is
has
different.
auto picks in the draft. They've all selected their own pick.
Yeah, I and that's another good example is that I mean everybody's drafting during the draft. So I mean
That is true. That is true.
we could I guess modify put to a vote modifying the what is considered active if
Like log on once a week, something like that, to where you have to
Yeah,
log on once a
like
week.
remote work. You
well
just got to make sure
but
they're getting the hours in.
but the thing
I
is
agree.
too is even though it shows somebody's been hasn't logged in for 30 days, it doesn't that's only logging into the actual website. It's
Yeah,
not the app.
yeah, yeah. That
The app isn't counted towards that. So if
the app's
somebody's
all
just
janky.
jumping on the app and responding to trade offers that way, it's not going to
Oh,
reflect on the
I didn't know that. I didn't know there was
yeah
so I go through my email. I didn't even know there was an app.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
There's
an
a
app.
few like MFL Platinum
There's
or
two,
something.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
well,
use
Yeah.
I will
both of
say
them.
that I have had offers out for like weeks. So I have 22 offers out right now that I haven't gotten any response.
I think
I
they
don't know. It's been
only
out,
last a week, and then they
I
go
think
away.
it's been like it's like 6. I've had it however long it's been like about a week on most of them.
Can you
Raymond,
I
check
Have
already
you
us? Can you do us all a favor for entertainment value? Can you read off what those great offers are so we can just
no
or
thanks.
just
or who there too? What about
or who
who
they're
there
to?
too?
Like
I'll say
who are you courting?
obviously there are 2 guys. There's most of the guys
Courting two
that
guys?
I have offers to are inactive. But I mean that's under the influence. Um, I forgot. Under the influence, there's like a few out to him, and
you want me to go knock on his door? I'll go knock on his door and be like, oh, hey man, Tom, you need
Yeah,
to answer to
let's
no
see.
off season,
Raymond.
bro.
Hey, where's Mex at? Hey, Bruce Wayne, I got one out to you right now, homie.
Yeah, Bruce, check that shit
Yeah,
out.
Hey, Tua
read that trade
legit.
to us. Read
Hey,
that trade.
Luis, I have one out to you right now.
Damn.
Oh, he's your given
Sorry,
name.
Tua legit. I can't say names. Let's see. Silver and Black Lives Matter. Saquon these nuts.
Don't worry, I rejected all the ones you gave me. You're good.
No,
My-
you're quick. Under
my
the
queue is
influence,
clean.
Trey Area, D-Rec, and Trump Bay.
Bro, I
D-Rex,
think
D-Rex on a submarine. He'll be back in February.
Direct
Mostly
Direct
it's
Direct
mostly
just
it's
looks at the
Trey
traits
Area.
and doesn't respond to them.
Yeah, he's shipmate.
Yeah, he says,
Trump-
"Fuck this! I ain't responding to this shit."
Mostly it's
He's just
Trey
hoping whoever
Area.
you want gets really badly hurt so that he can accept a trade when you're not when you're not ready.
That's what Rafa does. That I noticed Rafa does that shit.
What?
Or maybe you just forget about. I noticed Rafa will be like, no, but he won't deny it.
Nah, what happens with Bad Hombres is that he trades his players and they get injured. He has like this fucking curse that always
Curse.
happens.
Well, it's not a
Is
curse
they
for
either
me. It's a
get
curse for y'all.
it only they get injured or they get suspended every
Why?
single fucking
I don't
time.
want TJ. I want TJ Watt, but I'm not going to buy TJ Watt because the second I get him, he's going to get
Yo,
hurt.
I offered you a ton for TJ Watt, bro. I offered you a good amount for TJ Watt. He said
Probably like
no.
5
Yeah, but
taxi squad dudes.
No, it was dude. I offered a third and a fourth, I believe. It was a
TJ
good
Watt
offer.
is worth more than a
I don't
third.
know. Yeah.
I think I
I got-
offered Jalen Hyatt also. Jalen Hyatt in like a third. It was a decent offer.
So a third and a fourth.
I mean, well, I say Jalen Hyatt's worth like a third. I would say. I mean, I would pay.
I don't know with
a third.
neighbors there. They just took neighbors.
Yeah,
Hey,
but he's
man.
still young. I mean, he's probably worth it. Would you draft him in a draft in the third round? Not this last draft because his last draft
A
was
rookie
loaded.
one.
Yeah, like not this last draft because this last draft was loaded. But like 2 years ago, hell yeah, I would. 2 years ago was a weak draft, man. This last draft, he was probably like a fourth. I would say you're right. He's probably like a fourth.
And
But
then
yeah.
and then Raymond, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but he sent me a
But-
trade
But
for a second for Hyatt. He's like,
Bro,
give me
I'm
a
looking
second
for-
for Hyatt.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's-
hell no.
he's worth
I'm
a
looking
third,
for a
so you got to give
counter.
him a second.
I'm looking for a counter, bro. Send that counter. Obviously,
I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
try to get on you.
when I see those trades, I'm like, bro, like, come on, Ray. I at least
Dude.
contact Raymond and like talk to Raymond about trades. You know, I'm like, yo, man, I'm gonna send you this trade. You could talk to me. Let's see,
Yo.
work something out.
Honestly, I think I messed up because if you look at the next trade, I think I accidentally forgot to revoke that. I think I forgot to add in something else with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a second and a fourth. I was gonna offer you a Hyatt and a fourth for your two, and I just forgot. I think I forgot to revoke that because I sent out a ton of trades, and I think
Sometimes I think that Rain Man sends me trades at 2 a.m, so I wake up blurry eyed and I accidentally hit accept.
That's how you get around the rule. You accept the trade because it's a 6-hour wait, and
that's
nobody
what I've
can
been trying.
challenge it.
That's what I've been trying to do. I've been
So
trying to send
you
out
do it at
trades.
midnight so people are asleep, and then you get your trade through, and free market be damned.
Nah, fuck that. I'll wake up.
Why do you think
You got-
Rain Man
You got an alert
alert
set to the league.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'll
but
make
you
sure
guys
I
know
wake up.
Hyatt's available if you want him. Come get him.
I'll just wait till you put him in the waivers.
Bro, I am not. Come on, you know I'm not dropping Hyatt. Come on.
Well,
He's
you
like the
dropping
second-
somebody. You
I mean,
dropping
you got a
somebody.
deep
Oh, I'll
roster.
tell you. I'll
You
tell
gotta
you
drop
right
like
now.
15 dudes.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop. I
You know,
got
I mean,
some bum ass
Sorry,
running backs.
you got to
like
trade 15
Travion.
dudes.
I got some bum ass running backs. I'll drop a couple of them. But like,
Zamir White.
all right.
So what's up?
Like,
Are we getting inspired
let's
segment?
see.
Trade
You're
prediction?
gonna drop Hyatt? Is that what you're trying to get? Trade him away?
They'll trade you Hyatt for
Yeah.
a second. Good deal, my friend.
Third rounder, bro. Come get him.
He's got talent. It's so
Like,
good.
come on.
Jalen
He's-
Hyatt's gonna be our guest speaker next week when he gets back.
He runs a 4.2. He's
So
fast.
He's fast.
I know his answer is going to be at practice. So
He's
he's probably
Henry
I
You're
got-
Rhodes
giving, you're giving
you-
Rayman ammo so he can trade it to some of the ghost teams.
Yeah.
Henry Rhodes
I mean, like, look at this shit. I got 2 kickers. Like, I'm dropping one of them. I got 4 DPs. I can't
Just
hold on
do
to
it
4
now.
DPs.
Just drop them.
Why? I don't have to. Why?
What do you do
Hey,
with 2 kickers?
When is
We're not
roster
60.
cuts again?
second week of preseason.
Okay.
Uh,
I thought there was
yep.
only one preseason game.
No, I think they cut it down to 2 or 3.
3.
From 4.
It's 3, I think.
3? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were
So-
talking about moving to 18 games now, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
And they're
But
moving
if they
down.
do it, it won't be till next season.
They're gonna do it next season. Dude, hey, do you guys like this new kickoff rule? Let's speak on that. Dude, I think there's gonna be some like Lego was smart as fuck trading for
That
Keyshawn
quarterback.
Nixon. That was genius. That was genius.
Well,
I think
I think what's going to happen is the first few weeks, like maybe weeks 1 and 2, they're still going to feel out and see how it
like what
works.
works. Yeah, I agree. I
Like
agree.
what? Because it's just going to be so different. Like, I mean, I don't know. Is like Cordarrelle Patterson gonna be legit? Is he gonna do it right, or are they gonna have like someone else? Because it's just so different. Like I sent that article in the chat on like how things are gonna change and how they study the XFL, and based on XFL studies, how it may affect things. But I know for me, I mean, I can say my plan now because I've already enacted it. But I try to target some of the lower scoring IDPs, get kick return yards, because that's a way to kind of boom or bust their score. And I was hoping, I think Nixon, who I picked up in that trade, yeah, I was hoping that with the kick return yards, punt return opportunities he had, it'll translate because we do have pretty good return yardage scoring in our league.
No,
And
I thought that was
like, look,
genius.
I'm talking
I
in
kept
terms
copying
of
it,
being
but I
a
couldn't find
defensive
nobody.
coordinator. I don't know how willing I am to start my second corner at a position like that and risk losing him unless I'm stacked at DB, where I can just put someone else in. Like, I totally get what you're saying, but most of those guys that they're going to be running special teams like that, they're either going to be third or fourth on the depth chart.
well, so here's the thing though. So in the
Nixon
case
is
of
he's a
Nixon,
starter. Nixon's a
yeah,
starter.
he's a starter and he does kick return, punt return. And if you look at the amount of points he got in our league scoring system, he
for
was
sure
scoring
he
top
does.
10. He's a top
That's
10
why
scorer.
Lego's comfortable giving up his strategy now because he already picked up the one or two guys that were starters that also play defense, that also return kicks. Like an offensive guy, you're probably not going to start offensive
Yeah.
guy that doesn't start. But if you find a guy like Nixon, he starts. He was like a slightly below average score, but now with the new punt and kickoff rules, he could become an average or above average cornerback. So it was worth the pickup.
Yeah, like the rugby player, LRZ, right? He's probably not going to be startable in our league, even though I picked him up on a flyer, thinking he'd be more of a depth piece for like the kick return portion, which he's probably going to have a big role. He's probably not going to score enough to be even like a RB3.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to trade him to anyone that needs an RB3.
What are you
What's his
asking for,
name?
those gem of thirds and fourths or what?
Yeah, those are the money. So that's an interesting topic. So maybe we could hear Rain Man
We
wax
debated. We
poetically
debated this.
about
We debated this.
why you think third and fourth rounder picks, not the people, not the anomalies, not the Kyron Williams that I get in the fourth round of that weak draft you claimed.
No, well,
Is
you get guys later more. You're better at drafting later than you are in the first round.
because I never have first round picks. I trade them.
You're like Mike Mayock. That guy sucked in the first round and was like great in the later
Okay,
rounds.
one, I got AJ Brown in the first round. All right, with the 12th. So thank you.
That is true. That is. I give you that.
QJ, he's not over yet. He's not cooked. Okay, I think he's got a chance.
Jonathan Taylor,
he's legit. He's pretty decent at running the ball.
He's
okay.
He's
pretty good.
back.
True.
So you're gonna tell us why you think third and fourth round picks are more valuable than first and seconds?
Well, no. I never said they're more.
And why Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be the breakout player of this draft?
I never said they're more valuable.
Deion Coleman.
Wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. In Rainman's defense, who posted that photo of the stats about top receivers? Did you guys see that one where it said, like, I think the top picks that come out, only 8% of them end up being in the top?
Yeah. Oh, there's my defense right there. Yeah, later round picks turn out more.
That approach of shooting off like 3 third rounders and 3 fourth rounders, you're just increasing your chances of picking up a receiver that ends up like that. It just depends on where he's at in the
if y'all want to, if I'm willing to bite the bullet and make the sacrifice, if you want to trade, let me trade you a couple third rounders for a first rounder. I'll do it.
No. I never said 2. I said like 5 thirds. Would you rather have like 4 or 5 thirds or a middle to bottom one? Like I would rather have 4 or 5.
Middle to bottom one.
I'd
Me
rather have
too.
4 or
You
5
got to
picks.
realize too.
Hold on. So you're saying, okay, hold on. You're saying you would have rather had like someone like, okay, like Lad McConkey, like one Lad McConkey, someone at the bottom of the first, than to have
Or
every receiver that Rain Man drafted in the second and third and fourth round, which are all
I take Jermaine Burton, Malachi Corley,
all of them.
Javon Baker.
I would
They
take
all can't hit, man.
everybody in his stable over that one guy. So I mean, what's your argument for having that one guy over all the guys that he just drafted?
Now, okay, but in his defense, in Lad McConkey's defense, this last draft was way different than this last draft was the deepest draft I've ever seen
We
in my
don't
entire life.
know, man. Nobody's played an NFL snap yet.
I know we don't know, but just from what we do know, I'm saying. From what we
Wait a minute,
from
hold
what
on.
we do
That's
know.
not so that this draft was loaded because of COVID and how players.
Yeah, from what we do
waited.
know.
I remember when they said Jerry Jeudy was going to be phenomenal. Guess who drafted him in the first round?
But you can't. But you've got. But what you got to do, you can't guess
Hey.
the future. So we
Hey,
got to go
about-
off what we have. You know. From
Raymond,
what we
hold
do
up.
know, it's a deep ass draft.
Jerry Jeudy was made by Tua, respectfully.
I agree. 100% agree.
Everybody says the receivers made Tua, but now we looked at them and then you're like, Tua made them. All right.
Wasn't Henry Ruggs on that team too?
Yeah, Tua made them.
Then again, Henry Ruggs was he was going to be a star before he killed somebody. He started to really look good. I'm a Raiders fan. I would, I could see.
You're in luck because he's still on your roster. So
No,
he dropped him.
I
He
dropped
you
him.
dropped Henry Ruggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Whoa. This has been a long time coming.
When I traded for him, I got him in a 6th for a to give away a 7th. Like he was just like the add-on. Like I actually, like I gave away a 7th to get a 6th in him.
So here's another thing about, all these picks, all these players. There's an opportunity cost because you have to clog your roster with all these folks. Then when it comes cut time, sometimes you're rolling the dice and you're like, well, I guess I'll cut or trade this person at a discount because I can only hold so many folks. So I think that's where there's some value in a Brian Thomas Jr. over a Malachi Corley because chances are he's going to hit. So the cut isn't as tough if you have to choose between those two.
Yeah, you're right. You can't do the 3rd round thing like I did every year. Like
Right.
I did that. I do that in the drafts that I feel are going to be deeper. I'll do that. Like I'm not going to do that possibly next year. Well, I don't know. I don't know how deep the draft's going to be, but
It's supposed to be a running back draft, so I'm excited.
Right.
lovely. That means we're fucked. You're good.
The other big thing about that one is how long are you going to have to wait for these guys to break out or start being productive?
That's why I hate drafting tight ends. They take forever.
Because Burton,
Yeah,
he's behind Chase and Higgins. Corley, he has a little fear because he's just behind
But Corley's not behind
injury
anybody.
starting.
So if you look at the way I drafted, look at the rookies I drafted, every single one of them, like the guys, especially the guys I picked in the 3rd round, every single one of them has a chance to steal a spot, like a starting spot within the next 2 years. Like for instance, Jalen McMillan, Chris Godwin could be let go after this year. Mike Evans is getting old, and there's a 3rd wide receiver spot open. Him and Trey Palmer could fight for it. Malachi Corley, there is no wide receiver too. Garrett Wilson is the only the number 1.
Yeah.
There's a fight for number 2. Javon Baker, there is no there's no determined.
Yeah. But look at that offense. Look at the Patriots offense.
Oh yeah, the Patriots offense is trash. I'm just saying there was a chance for him to break out. Who else? Jermaine Burton, T. Higgins, he was talking about wanting to be traded. And then he might be gone. And Jermaine Burton, there is no wide receiver 3. So he could easily step up and become that number 2 guy behind Chase. Higgins might get traded. And then I drafted Coing, which I traded Coing away for a 2nd round pick. But I drafted Coing, and look at Brandon Ayuk wanting to get traded.
Yeah, even Coing, he's behind Debo, Pearsall, and now it's
that's why.
Yeah, but I have
that's why I traded
Debo and Brandon Ayuk's asses are going to be out of there.
Yeah, I
Debo's
think
not
he's gonna.
leaving.
I think he's gonna get traded.
Both of them.
I don't think Debo's leaving. I think even Jennings is ahead of Cohen.
I mean, I did trade Cohen for a reason. I don't
Okay.
think his chances are a little slimmer, but I do think Cohen could be a baller, man. Oh, like even Anthony Gold. Like I picked up Anthony Gold. Like there is no Michael Pittman's it, and then they drafted the Adonai Mitchell, which I think was whoever got him, Trey Area, I believe.
Yeah, but
I
they got
wanted
Downs
Adonai.
too.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I
And
think
you know
Downs.
what's going to be a good, something good to look at is anybody who's running back needy going into this next year's draft that have multiple picks in the second and third round and see if that same strategy is going to pan out for them, like the way it did for Raymond.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna.
that's an
Yeah.
interesting question. I know there's been
Lego
talk.
was wondering about that. He was asking like if people are going to copy that.
Yeah, interesting talk about the timing of our draft, right? I know every year somebody tries to propose we have our drafts start before the NFL
Love you,
draft.
baby. Love you, night.
Love
I
you.
don't.
I don't like that because I draft based on not just the player, but where the player wins. Like
I want to
But
go
and
on
I
record
and I
saying
think I think
that's a
unless
Jeff.
we try to do a Debbie league, I don't think it's a good idea. That's why I always say no.
I just don't.
But every
I
year
don't like it.
and I actually think it's MG. I think he's the one that's always, saying, hey, let's have our draft before the
Get
draft.
to first round, even if it's just the
And
first
I
round,
don't know.
because then we're
I just
really,
see
really
the
rolling the
prediction,
dice.
even what the experts say, and then what shakes out in reality, and it's crazy, crazy contrast.
It is.
I'm
It's
okay.
different.
I'm okay doing that the next 2 years. I don't have an issue with it.
You don't
I
have
don't like
Neither
it.
should.
like
Neither should.
2 7.
Neither should Metro. He has no draft capital.
He has a first. He has one
Exactly.
first. One
Yeah,
first
so
for the
say
next 2 years.
He has
I
I
his
don't
can't
even
talk
know
to
first,
you
why
right now.
his first
he
in
be
26.
he putting his opinion on that.
I have my players in my draft capital. My shit's liquid, right?
He's gonna trade Keenan Allen for a first rounder. He thinks
Yeah, to himself.
Hey, I can't shift my 401k in the 6th year, baby. So we're just all in. You feel me?
the world's ending and he's gonna just go all in.
That's what Jerry told me to do.
The resurrection is coming.
Yeah.
He goes like 100K
And then
in
Jerry
the debt.
ended up with Zeke again.
Oh shit.
Exactly.
Jerry went all in and ended up with Zeke again.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And Metro
Dude,
still
Zeke-
don't want to trade freaking Keenan Allen or Mike Evans for
Yo, I
draft
have a
capital.
question. Why the hell has no one signed Dalvin Cook? Like you got Ezekiel Elliott. What the hell are the cow? Dalvin
He
Cook
probably
was
lost
like
too much.
Dalvin's on my roster. He's gonna get a great team, I believe.
bro, like the guy
Well,
was a top 5 running back 2 years ago, and then out of nowhere, just his legs fall off or what? Like what the hell happened?
Let's
Is
get
he
into
still
the
with
part
the
of the night where we
Ravens?
start talking about my team. And the
What
Cowboys,
happened?
too.
I like sign
Dalvin
him.
Cook, I just think, after what they saw yesterday, like last season with Dalvin Cook, I think no team's gonna take him just because even though he did put up the stats he did in Minnesota, I don't think that, they want to go younger. It's just like they don't
But they're not going
value
younger. They're not going younger. They picked up Ezekiel Elliott. Like
they
they're not going on younger.
but they
Like,
don't
what?
value you know that the NFL doesn't value running backs, man.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they
they
don't.
don't.
If you don't
At
get your
all.
payday after your rookie contract, it's game over.
Yeah.
You know
That
what
is
running backs
definitely
are
true.
valued? The running backs like the cat that traded from Raymond Chandler. Yeah, he's
Chandler.
trying to. So it's like, okay, do you want to get paid? And then in their contract year, they're going to run the hardest out of any year that they're playing. That's what they value. Who's in their contract year and who's going to give us full effort for peanuts, right?
That is
And then
true.
And then if they do, the Cowboys don't want their players to produce. They just want them to fucking win and sell tickets because they know that if they do too well, they have to pay them, and they don't want to fucking pay them. You heard all that shit with
Or
Dead?
here's a novel concept:
So you want to win a
is
Super Bowl?
you actually win Super Bowls, and then your players will take a cut to come to your team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's not true.
like that.
Cowboys
So that's
can't
what the
pull that
Niners are
off.
doing. That's what the
Or
Niners
you
are
could go
doing.
to like the
They
Raiders
have
where
a
there's no state tax.
And the Niners
Oh,
are
you
the
you
Patriots
think you
formula.
think
Well,
Purdy's gonna
Niners are
volunteer for
paying
that?
them.
You think Purdy's gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna help the team. Let me just not break the record for asking, for the money
You
that
know
I'm about
what?
to
If
have.
if
He's
you've
not
got the
gonna do
kind of
that.
playoff success that some past teams have, where you're going to win a Super Bowl 1 out of 2 times, there's plenty of players that'll be like, you know what? I'm going to roll the
There
dice and make 2/3 my wages.
there are veterans out there that have openly said, and not just said, there are veterans out there that have taken either the same or a little bit less to join a team like the Patriots back when they were a dynasty. The Chiefs, they've signed a couple guys without having the best offer out there. There are guys that want that ring because
yeah,
not just
but
the ring alone brings money because you get more playoff games. When you make the playoffs, you get paid. Like the players get paid those
Well,
for those
it's
playoff games.
also it's hard to make the Hall of Fame if you never win a Super Bowl.
That is
So if
another
you
thing.
if you want to be
You get
etched
paid.
yeah,
into the the memory of NFL fans and the base, you got to win.
Shout out Dan Marino.
Damn, that was messed up. Damn, dude, your own boy,
Hey, that best quarterback to ever play the game. If he would be
bro. He
playing,
really,
if he
I
would
think, I
be playing
agree.
in today's league, he would be throwing 7,000 yards every single season.
I actually agree. That guy
Respectfully.
was
That's your boy
stud,
Tua
bro.
now. Tua's going to pull that off.
Yeah, he about to get 5,600, this
yeah.
Wait,
season.
are you doing
He doesn't
yards
get
or
a concussion.
Bro, that's
7,000.
2 years ago, bro. Get over that shit. That's 2 years ago, man.
He probably
Last
doesn't
year he
remember
played
that. He doesn't
17.
remember. He's just been time traveling for the past entire NFL career.
Throwing
Last
up gang signs.
last year he played 17 games. He was the passing leader. Best offense in the NFL. Now we
Yeah, and
added
how'd they do?
OBJ. Come on, man.
Until cold weather struck.
Yeah, that
Bro,
shit
OBJ,
He's a
come
warm
on.
weather
OBJ
guy.
is changing
What
nothing.
was
OBJ
it?
is changing
I
nothing.
wish it was colder.
Yeah, that shit was terrible, man. That we can't play in the cold weather, man. We gotta win the AFC East to at least get one home game. Or else we ain't making it past the wild card.
I think the reason you guys can't play in cold weather is because of the type of offense you run. You like to throw it deep. I think your coach maybe he relies on speed. I think he should try to get a couple guys just for the playoffs that are bigger and not just fast because that type of offense that they run doesn't work in the like when the playoffs come in the winter. It really
Yep,
doesn't because you have to throw the ball deep.
Can't run on ice. Lightning cannot run on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just the situation with us is that we get away from the run game. Like our run game
Yeah.
works, and
Yeah, they
then
have
we get away from it. Like
Yeah.
it's literally working, and then for some reason he decides just
They'll
to
just
fucking throw the
stop.
ball.
Yeah,
Like
he'll stop.
it sucks. But I
He
think
probably
I
had.
think Tua is gonna have
I
top
don't know.
five numbers next
Is
season of fantasy points. Not gonna
is
lie,
Jalen Wright? How fast was Jalen Wright
he's
in a
fast as
combine?
shit too, man.
Bro, he's fast, man. He's like 4.3s, I think. That
Yeah,
Okay,
that whole team is
there it is,
based off
pure
speed. It's
speed.
crazy. It is crazy
I'm looking
how
at their
fast.
depth chart. Let's
yeah.
see.
This is
OBJ's
last
not
year.
fast. He's not fast.
Who? OBJ
Look it up.
not, but they're using him to take like coverage away from like
Yeah.
Waddle and
Barrios,
Tyreek.
he's shifty.
Yeah.
Malik and
Barrett's
Taj
a slot
Washington.
guy.
But OBJ
Tell
is
you
gonna
what,
give y'all like
I
two
have
games,
Jonnu
2-3
Smith, and I
games.
think Smith's gonna eat.
Nah,
I think
Smith's gonna eat. He's able to break. He's fast. He's able to break tackles. Like that's what they needed at tight end. Like, and somebody who could fucking block. Cause
yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. I like him.
But what happened with Gasicki then? Because he
Gasicki,
would
bro,
get
Yeah.
like
Gasicki.
4
The
games.
situation with Gasicki, bro, is that he's a one trick pony. He's just a wide receiver, a slot wide receiver. He's not a tight end.
He's Pitts.
Yeah, that's why I think he's gonna fucking kill it with the Bengals, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna be tight end one with the Bengals.
I just don't think the Dolphins institute their tight ends good. Like, I think they're all about different stuff. Like, they're not about the seam. Like, they go deep. They hand the ball off outside. And tight ends aren't the fastest players. And I just don't think they institute them well enough. There's something about McDaniel's offense that hurts tight ends. And it's been proven since he's been a head coach. Tight ends haven't done anything. Even if I think Gasicki's a good ass tight end. but not run blocking. I mean, in the
Nah,
passing,
he's
he's good.
trash. He's pass
He's
blocking,
trash.
run
Yeah,
blocking.
he's trash.
He's
He's
a
trash.
like I said, he's a tight end
He's a
that
slot.
should be
He's a
a
slot. Yeah,
slot wide receiver.
he's not inseam. He's not inseam at all. Like he's a
Yeah.
receiving tight end. That's it.
He's
Well,
he's
we're seeing
slow
a lot
too.
of it, right? These like uber athletic move tight ends that they're basically just a overmatched wide receiver.
Yep.
So that,
This is the
they
new
can
NFL.
overtake the linebackers and safeties.
Yeah.
But that's why like the talk of Pitts, they're gonna throw him against cornerbacks. I don't think that's gonna be a good matchup. I don't think he's gonna do too great.
Nah.
Not. I
They'll
just
eat
think
him up.
Pitts needs to be better at Pitts. Pitts needs to be better at like the 50-50 balls. Like Romo Dunze, he's a
But
big ass wide
he is
receiver.
not
You know.
had a very good
All
like
right, I was in
offense.
the
He hasn't had
sauna. I was
a
in
good
the sauna. I heard
offense.
you
He
guys
doesn't have a
talking
good
about
quarterback.
What you say,
Pitts.
Metro?
Hold on. So you're saying that you don't like the corners on Pitts, right? But Pitts
Yeah.
is lining up in the slot. He's not lining up outside
No,
of
no,
the
no, no,
flank.
no, no. I'm not. I'm
When
not
he's
saying
going up against
fast.
outside linebackers or hybrid
No,
outside linebacker
you're missing
safety,
it. You're missing it. It's the
Lego
coach
just said they're
speak,
going to put him against corners. That's what he
right?
just
The
said.
coach
they're
speak
not going
is
to put him against corners.
well. That's what the
They're
coach is
not gonna-
saying. So I don't know what to tell you. Like that's
So,
literally what he's
okay.
saying he's going to do. So
So,
maybe you can go give
I
him a
mean,
call
so
and say, "Don't do that," because I'm
if you're
agreeing it's
going
a
to
bad
line him
idea.
up, if you're going to line him up outside as a flanker, and you're going to say, okay, run a 9 route, and they run a 9 route. He's got the largest wingspan of any tight end who's ever lived.
But he
You're
doesn't
saying
use
that
it.
you wouldn't take, well, because he had fucking, what's his name throwing the ball to him. And he had that dude throwing the ball to him his rookie year, and he still passed it 1,000 yards. How many, you think he's going to get 1,000 yards this year? Fuck yeah, he is. Oh my gosh. With Cousins?
Cousins dies until he
Look
dies.
what Kirk Cousins did for Hawk's career.
I agree. I think Pitts is gonna have a good year. I agree. I think Drake
But I don't
London's
think
gonna
this
have
is
a
the
good
same
year too.
Cousins.
Drake London's going to have a great year.
I don't think this is gonna be the same Cousins though.
Why?
Bro,
Why, Rafa?
No,
I
Explain
just think you
yourself.
guys.
He's
I
coming
don't
off
think
the
it's going to be
injury.
the same Cousins. I'm
Aaron
telling you guys.
Rodgers will be different too.
Yeah, I
Cousins
just
is
don't
not
think.
a running quarterback. He's stationary. That motherfucker never runs. He
Well, he
always
did
runs
for
the
one
ball.
play last year.
But
See
look
what
what
happened?
happened. Look what happened to Carr when he broke his leg. Like he was
Bingo.
so scared
Bingo.
shitless.
Yep. Alex
Once-
Smith, RG3, they get the yips. They're different.
And like
an
guys like
Achilles.
London
It's an
and
Achilles?
Pitts.
Yeah, it was Achilles for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Achilles,
And just
it was, I don't even
F.L.O.G
think it was a contact injury. Wasn't it a non-contact injury? Usually Achilles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. He's been slinging it at practice. He looks great.
Aaron
I don't
Rodgers?
understand why you think he's not. No, fucking
Cousins.
Oh, Cousins.
No,
They started-
fucking Rodgers is a different
Vikings started
conversation.
camp.
No, not the Vikings. What's it called? Mini
The
camp.
Hawks.
Falcons. Did they start camp already? I
No,
know teams are
no.
starting to roll out, but like only like 10 of the 30.
Rookies, and there's like rookies only right now. Most
Yeah,
of them
it's
are
rookies
rookies
only.
Well,
only.
some are a blend. Like the Ravens were rookies and veterans.
Yeah, the Ravens were both. They're the first ones out there. No wonder they're always good. But I just think like everybody like because everybody is on the Drake London and Kyle Pitts hype train, and my only worry about them is they're like a buy low. They're both buy low right now, like buy cheap. There's a reason, like when you buy players, like I bought Treylon Burks, I bought Jonathan Mingo. There's a reason I was able to get them so cheap because they haven't produced. And usually, if you don't produce, you just don't produce. And I'm kind of worried. Like I know Drake London and Kyle Pitts, they have all the talent in the world. Like I can't compare them to like Jonathan Mingo, but like Jonathan Mingo doesn't have the talent they have. Treylon Burks kind of does, but I just feel there's like some guys in the NFL that just get it. They're just ballers, like they're just good. And there's some guys that just aren't. They could have all the talent in the world, but it's either the mental side or they don't practice hard enough. There's just something about them that doesn't click. And that's my only worry about Kyle Pitts and Drake London is there's something in their brain that is saying I'm not an NFL player. That's my only
Are you
Josh
just walking
Gordon?
around the house getting your steps in, or
I'm pacing, just walking.
I think the difference between what Treylon Burks and what you're saying about Drake London and Pitts is that Pitts and Drake London had nobody to throw them the ball to. And I think with Treylon Burks, he just needs a new start. I think in Tennessee, his time is over because,
Well, he's too buried too. Now
yeah.
he's
He's
hella buried.
buried, and the
He is
team's already
buried.
saying that if he doesn't make special teams, he's not gonna make the team.
Yeah.
No, but Calvin Ridley did say, "Yo, I don't think Treylon Burks." Calvin Ridley's a badass for receiver, and he recently said, "You don't got to worry about Treylon Burks. Like
But
his mental game is just simply got
that's
to
a
catch up to
teammate
his physical
supporting a
game."
teammate. That's what
That
they
is
do.
true.
That's a good teammate. He's
That is
Yeah.
saying the
that
right
is
thing.
true.
He's trying to prop up his guys because obviously they want to succeed as a team. And if Treylon can climb out of the hole he dug for himself, then maybe he can contribute. And if are you getting naked? And
Get my shirt.
it's a great man, just hot. He's gonna change clothes on camera. OnlyFans.
You like that?
We have to be 18 and over for
All right,
YouTube.
we just lost like
Yeah,
36.
I gotta check. We just lost some viewers and we're not even,
Not even live.
starting this shit yet.
Right. Put it NSFW at the beginning, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but I think also, Raymond, if somebody asked me from another fantasy league about you, I'll be like, yo, that's my boy. He's a
That's
great
the best.
fucking MG. He's a GM. He's a great GM. He's a great
Yep.
trader. I wouldn't talk shit to him. I'll say good things about you, but in the chat, I'll be like, yo, you trash at fucking being a GM, bro. Sorry. You know?
Yo, I did take over a trash ass team though. Like the team I took over was not good. Like, and it's been 2 years, and the team is like my worst trade. I feel like honestly, I gave Mexican the championship last year because like I gave him all those
the running
players,
backs.
dude. I gave him in the ring, dude. My team was rolling. I
I
was like
don't
7-2.
Actually,
And then
I think me trading him Flacco off the waiver wire since I didn't make the
that
playoffs.
too. That too.
I mean, who would have predicted Flacco? He went crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But like I
But
gave him Brees Hall, I gave him Pacheco, I gave him Terry McLaurin. Like I gave him 3 or 4 of his starters.
I
And
don't
like
I don't understand why you made those trades though. I don't understand why you went and did what you did. Like in
I'll
my
tell
head
you,
was
Where
like,
your team was.
yeah,
Where
like
your
I was
team was.
like, what is
No,
like
he
I
was
understand that you want to make
broken. He didn't
trades.
make playoffs. He was broken.
no, I did those trades before. No, but Lego,
Yeah.
I did those trades before I did that Chase trade when I was 7-2, bro. It was a mistake. It was a
Oh,
mistake. Like I should have never done it, dude.
all that
But
getting
the
ahead of your
reason
skis.
the reason I did it, yeah, I got ahead of myself. But Rafa told me, or Mexican told me, yo, Rafa is only offering me 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and Michael Pittman. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like Rafa was offering the house to Mexican, but Mexican wanted players. He didn't want draft picks. And I realized in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to win the ring, but I know how deep this draft was. Like I knew how deep the draft was when I did the trade that was coming. So I basically gave up my championship to get all those draft picks because I knew I would be able to trade Jamar Chase
Always rebuilding.
to,
Yes.
yeah, I knew I would be able to trade him. And I mean, I can't lie, I got a lot for him. Like Rafa
So,
wanted who he wanted, and he went and got him. I got a lot for him.
so
I got
what do you think? What do you think? And this is a serious question. I'm not trying to troll you. What do you think is more important, winning a championship or doing really cool trades?
well. Here's the thing. I don't think I was quite good enough to win the championship last year,
I don't
Your
know
team
though.
was
Neither was Silver
balling,
and Black.
bro.
Silver and
bro.
Black.
I
was
always
good.
no, but I always felt like I was second best, dude. Every week I would have like the second or third best score. Every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
But you would have had a
Game
real,
crush.
I mean, Pacheco and Hall or
No
Like,
doubt, I
pretty much
could
as
have won the
solid as you
championship.
can.
There is no doubt. But like
Or
I
even
felt
if
like,
you
oh, I
didn't
could
win
win
it,
one
you
championship
could
or
have
I could
just
win
added.
5. That's how I felt.
Hey Raymond, and respectfully, now you're with fucking Gus Edwards, fucking goddamn, who the fuck is the running back from J.K. Dobbins? You're with broken Chubbs, like,
No,
bro,
No,
I
you
got
had a
Zamir
good
he
White,
ass
likes
bro.
team.
he likes broken players.
Bro, I got
You're like,
Zamir White. I got Kenneth Walker. I got
Who?
Nick Chubb.
Who?
Zamir White is going to be a stud. I'm a Raiders
Who?
fan. I know he's going to be a stud. I got Kenneth Walker. He's a top 20 fantasy guy. I got Ty
he's the
J.
only
Spears.
one with good knees. Also,
He can let
on your
others
telling
roster.
run his.
My players are all underrated. You guys say my team is going to be trash. My wide receiver unit, we all know is bad.
I just hope you go 7-2 and trade away all those assets.
I do too. He gonna go rebuilding mode again.
We got a good draft coming up with running
Dude,
back.
no, this last draft was seriously. This last draft was like it, dude. Like, I've been in fantasy football
every year they say that. Every year,
No,
like,
I don't.
talent's
I don't
amazing.
say that every year. I do not say that every year.
No, I said
say
in
most drafts
general
are
people.
trash. They do. Most people do. But this last draft truly was special.
I'm curious how many of your players will hit. I'm very curious.
I just have a weird feeling that quite a few are gonna hit.
But aren't you trading them all away?
He said all.
I only trade. I haven't traded shit away. I actually
Bowlers.
traded 4 Odunze. I traded 4 Odunze. I haven't given away. The only rookie I traded was Coing, and then Marshawn Lloyd, and I got for Marshawn Lloyd, I got another young guy, and in a second,
you traded Keon Coleman, and
yeah, I needed a running back, but I have so many rookies. Like I could have.
Our trades. People are gonna know us by the huge trades that we made. And bonehead moves.
Like if you look at the calculator on that, everybody hates on Kenneth Walker, but if you look at the calculator and calculate that in, like I got Kenneth Walker for Keon Coleman in 2 seconds. Like put that in the calculator and it says I won that trade by like double. Of course,
if I would have known that Walker was on the trade market like that, I would have traded a first for him.
What's that?
I would have traded a first for Walker.
Let's see what you've done, Rain Man. You've made 13 trades since since May 5th.
That's an
I've won most of my trades, like straight up. My team's better.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
What do you mean? My team was better than
they haven't panned out yet.
No. I'm talking I'm not talking the trades I made recently. I'm talking the trades I made last year, besides that one trade. But remember how I inherited a really bad team? It was like last place. I drafted Breece Hall #1. My team got better, and then I rebuilt again. But like those trades I made up to that point, I won on like most of them. Obviously, I made some dumbass trades. I made a couple dumb ones. And oddly enough, always Lego that crushes me on trades every time.
No, you got Pacheco for me. You got Pacheco.
Yeah, but the rest of them, you fucking like, you always like have a line, and I can't. No, it's just that there's a couple of your players for some reason that I really want, and like I want them, and you drive a hard like with Tajay. Like you refuse to give him up, and
that man's worth 3 seconds.
Yeah, like even then you were about to revoke the offer and you were dead ass serious. Like you're like, never mind, I'm just not going to trade him. And then you started revoking it, and then I went and accepted it real fast because I knew you were. When you
actually beat me to it, I really tried.
Yeah, when you say you're going to do something, like you do it. Like I've noticed, like you weren't just like talking shit because you revoked offers before.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. Well, with that, I think we got to start wrapping it up because I think we got like a minute and a half or something left.
All right, fellas, have a good night.
So for next week, I'll start keeping some notes as far as like stuff that comes up in the chat, and then maybe next week we can start going over people's schemes too.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Just start looking at your team, and then we can kind of start discussing what your vision is for your team and what you plan for your team and all that.
Yes,
and Rafa, would you like to tell everybody about your ear injury there, Mr. Donald Trump Jr.?
Oh no, it's in solidarity with our future president. It's not an ear injury.
MAGA.
Show support.
All right, yo.
We had to get one little thing in before the end.
On that note, all right, man. See you guys next week, yo. For those who are gonna be here, appreciate y'all, and like and subscribe. Thank y'all.